say desires, we should not harbor desires in general. Can you talk about moksha as a desire when it translates into maybe Shastra Vasana or Vasana for Seva, and then it becomes a crutch? And how does that inhibit sadhaka's progress?
So here is the question. The Vedanta teaches that you should become free from desire. Whereas different kinds of desires keep on arising, including desire for studying Vedanta. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Dhumena vrete vannihi yathadarsho malena cha yatholbena vruto garbha tatha tened mavrutam avrutam jnanametena. Lord Krishna says that desire veils the knowledge. Desire veils the self-knowledge. And then Lord Krishna gives 3 examples, meaning that desires can be of 3 categories: sattvic desires, rajas desires, tamas desires. So when we use the word desire, let us understand it properly. The desires can be of 3 kinds. Desires arising from tamas. It creates negative emotions like anger, resentment, desire to hurt. So these are the desires arising from tamoguna. Then greed, restlessness, discontentment. That's what happens when there is predominance of rajoguna. And peace and tranquility is when there is predominance of sattva guna. So all desires are not the same category. Some desires are more desirable than other desires. Some desires are more desirable than other desires. So we cannot put desire just in one category. Certainly desires arising from tamoguna, which creates in me the tendency of violence, etc., certainly we have to get rid of them. Even desires arising from rajoguna, which I have based on greed, ambitions, aggressiveness, these desires should be dealt with accordingly. So these are the desires that we can address. Desire arises because something appears to be valuable. The mind can only want something that it thinks is valuable. The mind thinks is valuable. useful. And therefore we have to address the mind. When there is a desire from rajas, when mind wants this and wants that, etc., then we address the mind. What's the reason why you want that? And make the mind understand that that object or entity does not possess what you want. What mind wants is happiness ultimately. Although it's the expressed desire, overt desire, is for money and house and this and that, and the material things. But behind them the desire is for happiness. So desire for money is okay if I don't have money. Meaning that desire for what I do not have is understandable. And you will need money for living a comfortable life. But if the mind wants money because it thinks it will be happy, then we have to reason with this mind. Hey mind, that worldly things that you want will not give you happiness. It can give you comfort. Money is a good thing to have, it gives you empowerment to do things. But money or wealth or name or fame or power can empower us to do various things which can put them to good use, and then that way serve the society. But if you think that they themselves will give me happiness, that's not so. This desire arises from rajas has to be dealt with viveka, making your mind see what is it really wants, what's the desire behind the desire. That will be happiness, and that the object doesn't have. The mind wants something because I want to be comfortable, feeling cold and I want warmth, then it is desire for something that the mind doesn't have. But happiness is what the mind has, so desire for happiness is desire for what I already have. So that desire cannot be fulfilled. If this is the case, then we have to reason with the mind. So don't dismiss desire as such. There are some needs we have. Because body is given, therefore, there are some needs. You need food for appeasing hunger, you need water for quenching thirst, and so on and so forth. And we cannot grudge those desires. Natural desires. Our Swami, natural desire and cultivated desire. You're hungry, that you want food is natural. You want pizza, that's a cultivated desire. You're thirsty, so you need water, is understandable. I want Coke, that's a cultivated desire. That cultivated desire we can work upon. But it's natural desire, and if you think it's proper, then you go ahead and fulfill it. But the desire behind desire is happiness. And then viveka comes. That cannot be fulfilled. So this desire we have to examine. Is it for something that I do not have and I need? Or is it for something that I have and I think I don't have? While talking, if I push my glass on my head, talking to my friend who was visiting me, I was reading newspaper, I put the glasses up and was talking to him for 15 minutes. And then he left and I was looking for my glasses. Underneath, above, couldn't find them. So that is the desire for what I think I do not have. So there are desires for what I do not have and desire for what I think I do not have. So if I am feeling cold, there is a desire for a blanket, it is desire for something that I don't have. But desire for happiness is desire for what I think I don't have. Because Vedanta teaches us happiness is your nature. So thus we have to analyze what is the anatomy of the desire, understand it properly, and then deal with it. You can't simply generalize about desire, you follow? Announcement.
Hello everyone, welcome to
Lindenwood
Retreat Center and Lindenwood Center, and we have our administration of Lindenwood would like to talk for a few minutes and give us the information regarding the center.
Hello, I'm one of the sisters and I work here at Lindenwood. I'm Sister Gilletta. And on behalf of our sisters and our congregation, we welcome each of you to our beautiful place here. We hope that you feel at home here and make yourself at home. If you have any questions or concerns, don't hesitate to ask us. There isn't probably somebody on duty all night, but we do have safety officers around the clock. And you can also dial 0 on one of our phones here if you have a special need. And then tomorrow people will be here again. Usually Courtney, our receptionist, comes in about 7:30, and we have somebody here usually until about 4:30. And then on the weekends there will be somebody around too. I don't know how many of you are new. Anybody new for the first time? Have you been here before, most of you? Oh, okay. All right, some of you are new. There are bathrooms right out here, men and women out there. And we have a labyrinth walk over here outside. If you go out the back door, beyond the garden, you'll see that. If you like to walk the labyrinth. And other spaces, feel free to roam. You know, we're happy to have you. So if you have any questions? All right, well, I'll let you proceed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So we have a few announcements. To make. One is if you have questions you want to ask Swamiji, there is a small paper. You can write it down and put it on the table. And we can talk about it tomorrow. Your questions later on. Also, there is one more thing that we'd like to make sure your phone are on vibration or in off mode, so that when somebody gives resources, there is no interference regarding the decision and discourse. The morning meditation is not there tomorrow. We start the discourse at 9 a.m. in the morning tomorrow, and 9 to 10. And then there's a break in between. Then between 11 and 12, there's a discourse. And there is a lunch. After lunch, we have another discourse starting from 4 to 5 p.m.
Oh, 4 to 5 or 5 to 6?
5 to 6. 5 to 6. Yeah, and afternoon there's such and such.
And the kitchen will open at 7.
Yeah, kitchen will open at 7 o'clock for the breakfast.
What time will the meditation?
There is no meditation tomorrow.
Otherwise 7 o'clock.
Otherwise it will be 7 o'clock in the morning. Any other questions?
One-on-one time.
Yes, one-on-one session with Swamiji. Please talk with Deepak Dare. And his phone number will be given to you so that you can easily access it to the phone. All right. Thank you. Satsang begin. Any questions, please? Yeah, I'll go.
Swamiji, we are trying to understand Advaita, Vedanta. But Dvaita inevitably comes in our life. We cannot erase that. How could we incorporate that on a daily basis? We are living in Dvaita.
Right.
That's my
So here the statement is that we are living in Dvaita. And Vedanta teaches Advaita. So how can we put that Advaita into practice when we are living in Dvaita? The question is, are we living in Dvaita or we think we are living in Dvaita? What is Dvaita? Duality. You are different and I am different. That is called Dvaita. It's called mutual exclusion. In English we'll say, you exclude me and I exclude you. That's called Bheda or Dvaita. So is this my assumption or is this reality? So Vedanta basically addresses the various conclusions that we have. The primary conclusion is that I am so and such, confined to this body, and you are so and so, such and just confined to that body. This is what we call Dvaita. But the Dvaita is based on my assumption about myself and about yourself. And we have never questioned this conclusion. We have never questioned our perception. And we live our life. So here we need Vedanta which helps us. It would not be possible for us to question our conclusion. So Vedanta draws our attention to this conclusion and questions our conclusion, whether do I have a real basis to conclude that you are different and I am different. That will be the starting point of Manisha Panchakam. You are different and I am different. And we will see, that will explain that essentially what you are is essentially what I am. Meaning that the Bengal may think that this earring is different from it. What Bengal essentially is what the earring essentially is. So at one level these two are different, at another level they are one. If that oneness is understood, then difference is not a problem. If oneness is not known, then difference becomes a problem. So all problems in our life arise from duality or division, that you are different and I am different. Then all kinds of questions arise, suspicions arise, fear arises, conflicts arise. All the sorrow in our life can be traced to this primary conclusion that I am such and such and you are such and such. So that is where Vedanta helps us, and that is the subject matter of Manisha Panchakam also. To answer a question, we are not living in Dvaita, we believe that we live in Dvaita. That belief is questioned by Vedanta.
સ્વામીજી હરિઓમ ગીતામાં આપે એક્સપ્લેન કર્યું આત્મા ઇઝ સદબુદ્ધિસ are checked. વિષય છે એટલે એનું સ્વરૂપ સ્વભાવ સમજવો આત્માનો સદબુદ્ધિ.
So his question is, for some those who do not understand Gujarati, then Bhagavad Gita we have said that Atma is the object of knowledge of Sadbuddhi. So the Sadbuddhi is the Swarupa of Atma, or is it the attribute of Atma? Atma is Sat, means existence. So to be is the nature of ourselves. To be, to shine, to be complete. Ahamasmi sadabhami kadachin naham priya. A text called Advaita Makaranda begins with this statement that it is my experience that I am conscious and that I always love myself. I never dislike myself, that's how it says. Brahma evahamata siddham satchidana lakshanam. That shows that I am always there as a Sat. I am self-revealing there, Chit. And I always love myself, Ananda. This very experience shows that Satchit Ananda or Brahman is my Swarupa. So Sat is the same as Chit, Chit is the same as Ananda, and that is our essential nature, Swarupa. That will come elaborately in the Manisha Panchakam. Nobody is looking at me, you know. Everybody is looking in different directions.
Just on, if you can elaborate on one sentence that I read in Vedan's lecture. Everything lives intelligently in the world, in Jagat, right?
Everything?
So sentient and insentient both live intelligently.
Mm-hmm.
So sentient is easy to grasp, but insentient, how does that?
So, I think the statement is that intelligence pervades everything in the universe. Intelligence. The universe can be said to be the manifestation of consciousness or intelligence. So wherever you see, there is intelligence. You know, living beings, it's very evident, you know, that every living being, you know, manifests, displays intelligence. A mosquito also, cockroach also, or amoeba, every living creature displays intelligence because it functions in a manner which assures that it survives, that it gets, what it needs to survive, to protect itself, to procreate. So these basic instincts are there in all living entities. And that way, every living entity lives intelligently. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithunam. Everything needs to sustain, so they need food of that kind. I don't know whether cells ever sleep or not, but anyway, everything needs rest. Everything needs to protect itself, and everything needs to procreate. So all living entities have these four basic needs. When we say they all live intelligent, means that they all live in such a manner as to fulfill their basic needs. Now, how about these tables and chairs? Is there intelligence in this table? That was the question. But I guess table also serves a purpose. That it allows me to use it for study, for reading, for teaching. It also bears whatever load we put on that. So table does that. Everything will not do that. And window will not be able to do that. Window does its own thing which the table cannot do. Whatever is there in this universe, even the walls and the columns and beams and columns and whatever they are, all of them have some contribution to make in scheme of things. There is nothing in the universe that is redundant, meaning that it is useless, does not serve a purpose. Whatever is created serves a purpose. Sometimes we may not know what purpose it serves. Like what purpose appendix serves, we may not know. And so doctors think cut them off. But whatever is created must serve a purpose. In that sense, everything is intelligent. An intelligent thing serves a purpose. So whatever there is in creation, rivers are there, mountains are there, earth is there, rocks are there, all insentient things. But they have their own place in scheme of things. In the cosmic scheme of things, all of them have a place. If the thing was not there where it is supposed to be, then there will be problem. And so icebergs should be where they are. If they are not, it can create problems. Water must be where it should be, otherwise it creates problem. Everything is where it should be, and if it is not, then we know how it creates problems. So, therefore, whatever it is and wherever it is for a purpose. There is nothing in the universe sentient, meaning living, or lifeless. Everything has a purpose to serve. We may not right away know what it is. It may need research for the scientist to discover what purpose it serves. But ultimately we will find that everything serves a purpose. Nothing, because the creator is Bhagavan. If you don't believe in even Bhagavan, let us say somebody, but the creation is manifestation of intelligence. So whatever it is intelligent, serves the purpose. And so you can appreciate Bhagavan this way. Even if somebody has difficulty in accepting Lord in some form, etc., this is very evident manifestation of Ishvara as intelligence, as purposefulness. Everything is purposeful. Everything is for a reason. In that way it reveals intelligence. And that is Ishvara. One second.
Hariom Swamiji, why do we consider Sat the same as Chit and the same as Ananda?
It amounts to, if you examine what Sat is, Sat means being or existence. So then, that this bangle is in my hand. Is there a bangle in my hand? What makes you say that? You can see or you're aware of that. So you can say something is when you are aware of that. Is there a bangle in my hand? No, because you are not aware of that. So being your existence and awareness go together. You are aware because it is. It is because you are aware. You say bangle is because you are aware of bangle. You could not be aware of bangle unless bangle was. So thus we find that the bangle is and bangle shines in your awareness, both of them go together. Therefore they are one. And so asti and bhati, both of them are experienced simultaneously. Therefore they cannot be two things because they are experienced simultaneously. Or one cannot be experienced without the other. Asti cannot be experienced without bhati. And bhati, meaning that we cannot determine that the bangle is unless there is awareness of the bangle. And there cannot be awareness of the bangle unless the bangle is. So, asti and bhati, or sat and chit, they are always simultaneous, so they are one. Then we said that whatever there is in creation serves a useful purpose. Whatever it is, wherever it is, whether it's poison, whatever it is, has a role to play. That doesn't mean it's useful to human beings, useful in scheme of things. We may not necessarily, we think that somebody says, why are there mosquitoes? Why has God created mosquitoes? So universe is not meant for you. There are billions of other entities which also for whom mosquito may be useful. And so if whatever is has a purpose to serve, is useful. And we always like that which is useful. So everything is likability, attractiveness, the potential of happiness. Anything can become a source of happiness when the right conditions exist. Even a rock on the roadside can become source of happiness when you have flat tire. Then you need that to support your car. So, given the appropriate conditions, everything can become desirable, likable source of happiness. And there were asti, bhati and sukham, priya. They are all one, they are all experienced simultaneously. But this priya or happiness has to be investigated. In our own mind also. I am also Satchidananda. That I am is very clear. That I am aware also is very clear. Ananda is not clear. If that was clear, then no Vedanta is required. Because what we want is Ananda, and if you are experiencing myself, Satchidananda, then that's it. Unfortunately, we experience Sat that I am, Chit that I am conscious, I do not experience that I am Ananda. And therefore I am in search of Ananda. So therefore then, how come we don't experience Ananda? Because we need a state of mind to experience that. That's called Sattvic Antahkaranam. When we have that, when we experience that also, and that's when the teaching becomes very clear to us. So we have to work hard to experience happiness. No work needed to experience that I am, and that I am aware. Work hard to experience that, experience happiness. And work in the right direction, also. But the whole world works hard to experience happiness. Doesn't seem to get it.
Following up on happiness, Swamiji, the Priya Moh Pramod Vrittis, are they considered the Vrittis of, are they related to Ananda, or is it Sukham that we're experiencing? Because how can Ananda, that is our nature, be in form of a Vritti?
The self, or Atma, gets reflected in the mind. Vritti is like a mirror, and that reflects the self. Now, the nature of my reflection is determined not only by the image but also by the nature of reflecting medium. If I look at myself in a flat mirror, then I will appear what I am. If I look at myself in a concave mirror, I will appear very funny, or a convex mirror. So how I appear is determined not only by me but also by the reflecting medium. So I am Ananda. Mind is a reflecting medium. So therefore it is the nature of the vritti that determines how I get reflected. So these are the stages of sattvicness. Priya, little sattvic. Moda, more sattvic. Pramoda, very sattvic. And Ananda, sattvatida. So Priya, Moda, Pramoda are the states of mind of sattva. Same Ananda gets reflected, but because the state of mind is different, therefore the nature of reflection is different.
Sorry, Swamiji, but vritti means thought in your mind, or what is vritti?
Vritti means a state of mind, and thought is a state of mind. It is like a wave of water, so the shape of wave may keep on changing. The substance is water, but it may come in different forms. So substance is the mind, comes in different forms, which you call a vritti. States.
Swami, what is moksha in the term of in Vedanta? We are talking about happiness and those things. We are limited being, we got a life that at beginning and end, and after that when we are, suppose it is a journey, and then when we start from the journey and go on, we are out of the platform, we don't know why so. So how we define the moksha in this life plus what is after that?
Moksha translated means freedom. Or we can translate as unconditional freedom. Not limited by time, place, or attribute. And that's the nature of ourselves. So moksha is when I recognize the nature of myself, it is in this life only. Moksha has to be in this life only. Then if I attain moksha in this life, that is, I am liberated in this life, I always remain liberated. There is nothing to bind me. So there is no need to take another birth, and I remain liberated. When I am not liberated in this life, I need to take another embodiment to again strive to become liberated. That doesn't happen, so we keep on taking new embodiments to fulfill that one desire that we have, and that is for moksha. And that has to take place in this lifetime only. And there is no next lifetime because you serve the purpose. The birth is to serve a purpose. And that purpose is that you want to be liberated. So when that purpose is served, there is no need to take another birth.
Swamiji, when the purpose is served, are we united with the God, or what is it?
United with God because you discover that you are God. You can call united God if you want. It's like river merging into ocean. River also is water, ocean also is water. And to discover that I am water, but you can say united with God because united into total oneness or identity. Like river, be united with ocean. River also is water. Ocean also is water. So river discovers that I am water. And let them go? Okay. We conclude with one bhajan and then we'll let you go.
One more announcement by saying that everybody brings their cup or glass which is in their room, and you can put a mark your name on
I
it.
have a Sharpie so we can write down the name and bring it for the tea in the morning. That's why Ajay Kilnani has sponsored all the cups.
And you take back to your room and bring it back? Okay. I didn't see this cup in my room. Mm-hmm. गुरु चरण प्रीत मोहि लागे रे गुरु चरण प्रीत मोहि लागे रे सोई थी मैं जन्म जन्म से सोई थी मैं जन्म जन्म से गुरु शब्द से जागी रे गुरु शब्द से जागी रे गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरि लागी रे गुरु हाट बाजार फिरूं मतवाली हाट बाजार फिरूं मतवाली लोक लाज सब त्यागी रे लोक लाज सब त्यागी रे, गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरि लागी रे, को हम पूछत रागी को, को हम पूछत रागी को, सो हम कहत विरागी रे, सो हम कहत विरागी रे, गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरि लागी रे, नाम रागी नाम विरागी, नाम रागी नाम विरागी, रंग राग से भागी रे, रंग राग से भागी रे, गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरि लागी रे, गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरि लागी रे, सोई थी मैं जन्म जन्म से, सोई थी मैं जन्म जन्म से, गुरु शब्द से जागी रे, गुरु शब्द से जागी रे, गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरि लागी रे, हाट बाजार फिरू मतवाली, हाट बाजार फिरू मतवाली, लोक लाज सब त्यागी रे, लोक लाज सब त्यागी रे, गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरि लागी रे, को हम पूछत रागी, को हम पूछत रागी, सो हम कहत विरागी रे, सो हम कहत विरागी रे, गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरि लागी रे, नाम रागी नाम विरागी, नाम रागी नाम विरागी, रंग राग से भागी रे, रंग राग से भागी रे, गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरी लागी रे, गुरु चरण प्रीत मोरी लागी रे। ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। असतो मा सद्गमय, तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय, मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।